各位贵宾，善的力量拍卖晚宴。
More than $14 billion in commissions across our more than 33 years of history. Now, we are also committed to innovation. We are an absolute leader in business model innovation. Innovation is in our very DNA. It's who we are as a company. And in fact, when we look at business model innovation in particular, there are several key innovations that have happened across our history. The first of those is that Nu Skin was the first in the industry to develop the depth of leadership reward that we offer. 5%, 6 generations deep. No other company compares. We are the leader in rewarding leadership development. The second key innovation across the last 33 years is when we expanded outside of our first market to our second market, which was Canada, we introduced something called a global seamless approach to compensation. We were the first to provide a way to qualify on volume across markets and then to pay on that volume in an easy and seamless way in the home market currency of every distributor. We are still a leader in this regard today in the industry. Now, the third key innovation is the Wealth Maximizer Compensation Plan that was launched about 9 years ago. At the time, the key innovation here was developing 2 different ways of calculating leadership pay and always guaranteeing that we would pay the higher in all cases. What the result of that was is smoothing out the early business builder income opportunity as their teams were growing. In addition to this, more recently was the introduction of the Commissions Maximizer, which was an innovative approach to be able to protect against inflation. As inflation grew over time in your market, Commissions Maximizer allows us to be able to keep in pace with that change in inflation. Now, we have a process that we follow whenever we start to innovate around business model. This is a tried and true process, as you can see, that has taken us through many innovations over the last 33 years. Our approach to innovation is first and foremost to identify key behaviors to incentivize, and that we've been following through all of these different innovations. First of all, we identify key behaviors to incentivize, and then we design innovations to create the most compelling reward to incentivize those behaviors. Once we complete that innovation process, which takes a lot of time and a lot of attention, we then launch those innovations in 1 or 2 markets, and we refine as necessary. And finally, we roll out those innovations across all of our markets over a period of time. Now, we know that every market is in a different place, and therefore every market has different needs as it relates to timing of launch, as it relates to the approach to launch, and maybe even other unique considerations. Now, many of you will recall that this was the approach that we took with the Wealth Maximizer plan in 2008 as well. Remember, we rolled that out market by market over about a 2-year period of time, very carefully. And with each of those market introductions, market management teams worked very closely with leaders locally to set the right time for launch and to consider other types of needs relating to that launch. Now, you might ask, why are we considering
innovation for our business model right now? Well, there are really a number of macroeconomic trends that are converging right now that make it a critical time to consider and to really look to the future. Those are, number one, the rise of a new generation, demographic change. Number two, the rise and continued growth of the gig economy. And number three, the exponential growth of social selling. Now, in addition to these macroeconomic trends, obviously there are many other competitive forces at work in the broader marketplace right now. You've seen other companies such as Uber, such as Lyft, such as eBay, such as Airbnb, and others that are making moves in the broader marketplace of business opportunity as well. And so we absolutely must consider all of these factors as we're looking at the future. Now let's talk a little bit about each of these trends more specifically and why they're so critical, but why they also provide us with incredible opportunity going forward. First of all, the rise of a new generation. Within the next 3 years, by 2020, 50% of the workplace will be comprised of millennials. 75% by 2030. Now, this change in the generational makeup of the workplace really is also bringing with it a changing desire for the nature of the work experience itself. And this is largely being driven, number one, by the rapid expansion of technology, but number two, by just the lightning speed communication, lightning speed exchange of information. The qualities now that really characterize the workplace are the following. Number one, flexibility. Flexibility to determine how we work, to determine our own approach to work. Number two, freedom. Freedom to design our own schedule, to choose when we work. So flexibility, how we work, freedom, when we work. And the third is fulfillment. There's an expectation that there's a work-life balance, that there's a quality of life within the work experience that we're having. In addition, there's also a growing demand that the work we do has a purpose, right? That contributes to our well-being as well. Now, the second key macroeconomic trend is the growth and expansion of the gig economy. We've said this word a lot so far on New Skin Live, but what is a gig and what is the gig economy? Well, a gig is simply an independent working relationship. So you can think about consultants, you can think contractors, you can think temporary workers, you can think freelancers. Those are examples of independent working relationships. The key characteristic of the gig economy is flexibility. Again, flexibility in designing how and when we work. Today, as you can see here, about 31% of those in the workplace identify themselves as being part of an independent working relationship, being part of a gig. Now, in one of the most comprehensive studies that was of employees, of top executives, of human resources managers, that's done every 10 years. This was completed 2 years ago in 2015 by Randstad USA, one of the largest human resources staffing and services companies in the US. They interviewed thousands of employees in companies across industries, top-level executives and human resources managers, as I mentioned. Here are the outcomes of that study. Number one, most employees in companies today, as they look to 2025, so they look into the future 10 years, what they see and what they expect is that the majority of the workplace 8 short years from now will be comprised of gigs or independent working relationships. In addition, 40% of employees in companies today are themselves looking to start a gig. This is huge. Think about the implication of that. If 31% already are in a gig, and 40% of those who are working in companies want to start a gig, we're on the verge of a revolution in terms of the workplace in general. And then finally, 75% of CEOs and nearly 70% of human resources managers said they fully expect that the majority of the workplace, greater than 50%, will be in independent working relationships by 2025. Now, why is that important to us? Well, it's important to us because as a result of that, the opportunity to attract a much larger audience who want and who are seeking a business opportunity, an independent business opportunity, has never been greater than it is today. And of course, Nu Skin and our business opportunity is the perfect gig and more. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, we offer the flexibility, the freedom, the fulfillment through an enhanced quality of life, and also the ability to help improve the lives of others around us. Now, the third macroeconomic trend is social selling. Let me take you, Ryan took you on a bit of a time warp yesterday. Let me take you on the same one. So if we took a time warp back 15 years to before social selling was, or social media itself was really a thing, and if I handed you a piece of paper, and asked you to write down as many friends and family members and acquaintances as you could think of right off the top of your head, how many do you think you could have written down? Well, as Ryan mentioned yesterday, on average about 56. So maybe you could think of 30, 40, maybe you could think of 56. Fast forward to today. A recent study on Facebook showed that the typical Facebook user has 338 friends. Nearly 10 times the number of people that we could have written down on a piece of paper 10 years ago. So social selling provides instant access to your warm market. Social selling is not a different business model, but instead it's an accelerator to being able to find new customers and potential business builders. Why? Because again, it enables that instant, incredible reach. And that's just one. That example was just one social media platform, just Facebook. And there are obviously many, many others. So at the end of the day, social selling is really the perfect platform to enable the gig economy that we just talked about. So as we review then the outcomes of this research on macroeconomic trends, on our competitive landscape, what we find from this analysis is really three key differentiators that will allow us to remain on the leading edge of the gig economy. Number one, flexibility. When we talk about flexibility, we're talking about being able to provide a flexible appeal and reward. Being able to meet people where they are at. For instance, we offer a flexible opportunity for those who want just a little extra income. Somebody who wants to send a child to dance lessons or to sports activities. Someone who wants to take a significant other on a date. Someone who wants to help make a car payment or help buy that new refrigerator. We have a home for them. Now, for those who want more, for those who want a part-time to a full-time opportunity, we also have a home for them. Now, in addition, flexibility also means we have enhanced reward for attracting and retaining customers. The second key differentiator is fast. Yesterday you heard Rich talk a lot about fast speed. What do we mean by fast when it comes to our business model? Number one, we mean offering an increased reward for early, more frequent, more consistent sales performance. And secondly, we also are talking about velocity, providing daily, weekly, and monthly rewards and payments as well. And then the third key differentiator is future. Future looking, continuing to build on the strength of our leadership advantage. Again, we are a leadership company. And in addition to that, continuing to innovate in all areas, including our business model. So, we've always been leadership driven, and we always will be. We understand that leadership is our competitive advantage. You are the competitive advantage of Nu Skin. In addition, and while building on this leadership advantage, we also need to continue to strengthen rewards for new and early business builders, for those who want discretionary or flexible part-time income as part of the gig economy as they share the products and acquire customers. As you saw yesterday in the vision session, in those success stories that were presented, to be competitive in the gig economy, really we must enhance and we must have enhanced rewards for those who want discretionary and flexible part-time income. That is how we stay on the leading edge of the gig economy. So imagine for a moment that in addition to being the world's leader in rewarding for leadership development, that we are also best in class at providing the right rewards, enhanced rewards for new and early business builders as well. How would this entirely change the dynamics of your teams? At the end of the day, wouldn't we all agree that we want to be the world's leading business opportunity platform? So that when someone is seeking opportunity, they think of Nu Skin first. Not Uber, not eBay or Airbnb, but Nu Skin. Don't you agree?
Yes.
All right. So one key to making this happen is velocity. Increasing the velocity of the business model will allow us to break through barriers that could otherwise slow us down. So when we talk about velocity, what we mean is the flexibility, the fast, and the future-looking aspects that we've talked about. Imagine for just a minute that we could increase the pace of business from 12 business cycles per year to 52 to perhaps 365 business cycles per year. Velocity is all about offering the right reward at the right time for the right behavior in order to make that happen. And what velocity does is add another growth lever. Yes, we can grow by increasing the number of customers and distributors on our teams. Yes, we can increase the productivity of each of those customers and distributors on our teams. But what velocity also adds is speeding up the entire business model as a whole. And so velocity is not just about speed. Let me take you back. Some of you may not want to remember this, but do you all remember in high school or in college when you took that physics class? Did you like that physics class? Did you enjoy that?
Oh.
Well, velocity, remember, is definitely about covering a certain amount of distance in a certain amount of time. But the one thing we often forget is that velocity is also about direction. So it's about speed in a direction. Now, staying on the leading edge of the gig economy has everything to do with speed in the right direction. And this direction is really comprised of two different programs. The first is a program for customers. And this customer program is focused all around enjoying the products, loving the products, becoming a loyal consumer of the products. We know how hard each of you works to find customers. And we want to enable you to attract and retain those customers in a way that maximizes loyal purchasing. The second business program is the Velocity business model, which offers the right rewards at the right time for those who want to build a Nu Skin business. Now, the right speed of reward coupled with the direction of share, build, and lead, which you'll hear more about in just a minute, will allow you to accelerate the pace of your business. When we talk about sharing, we're talking about retailing products as well as acquiring customers. Build is all about maximizing each week of performance. And lead is about helping others to become strong, successful leaders. Now, Velocity by Nu Skin has been a 24-month project. And we've had more than 40 people from our global management teams or regional management teams and from other project teams participating from around the world in the design of the concepts relating to Velocity. In addition, we've held more than 20 focus groups with leaders around the world from many of our markets around the world to make sure that we're receiving and hearing feedback as well. Now, each of the individuals that you see here has been involved in this business model innovation process. Now, let me tell you a little bit about them and introduce them to you. So Mike Keller, he's currently our president of Nu Skin Korea, as well as our vice president of customer experience and loyalty. And Mike will be talking to us about the first program relating to Enjoy. Now, in addition to his current roles, and you know he's been the president of Nu Skin Korea now for several years, he has also been the head of our Pacific markets, as well as being involved in many global business development initiatives. Now, our second business program is Velocity. And so, Danny Luke, our head of Global Business Model Innovation, will be speaking to us about Share. He comes with tremendous experience from our Hong Kong market, and more recently several years in our mainland China market and Greater China as a whole. Matt Hall, our manager of the Nu Skin United States market, has also had experience as the head of our Pacific market as well. He'll be talking to us about Build. And finally, Avita Singh-Sun, our vice president of global sales channel development, has also had tremendous experience as the regional vice president of sales for both our Southeast Asia and our Asia Pacific markets. So as you can see, these individuals are highly experienced and bring a tremendous amount of experience as it relates to our business model. So I hope that you feel the same as I do. Nu Skin's future is tremendously bright, particularly as we continue to innovate in all areas as well as in the area of business model. Thank you very much.
私の一番好きな商品なんですけれども、まずガルバニクスパー、もうあれはものすごく僕のが大好きな商品の一つなんですけれども、もちろん自分が使うことによって綺麗になるのはもちろんなんですけど、やはり僕の妻である方にもですね、一緒に使うことによって、コミュニケーションもありますし、綺麗になるし、コミュニケーションにもなりますし、あの製品は本当に、僕の中で一番愛している製品なんですけれども。
I think Nu Skin product is really awesome. For myself, I started off with the weight loss program. I'm actually a mother of two. So because of the program, I lost about 4 kg, and the amazing thing is my waistline dropped about 9 centimeter after 3 months.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President of New Skin Korea and Vice President of Global Customer Experience and Loyalty, Mike Keller.
Good morning. It's great to be here with you today. 우리 사랑하는 뉴스인 가족 여러분, 감사합니다. 반갑습니다. 안녕하십니까? Okay, so I just got a few minutes today. 감사합니다. Got a few minutes today to talk about enjoy. As Chris mentioned a moment ago, this is a piece we're paying a lot of attention to right now. The idea behind enjoy is that your customers and you, as business leaders, enjoy your experience and your interaction with the company. You enjoy the tremendous benefits that the New Skin products offer, and you enjoy building your businesses. A big part of this is the customer experience that we, on the corporate side and in each of our markets, build and create to ensure that at every touch point, your customers walk away with a feeling that they've connected with the right company, they've connected with the right products, and that we're going to keep them and retain them longer over a period of time. Now, customer experience, it's not a buzzword. It's something that's happening right now. It's a movement amongst industries. Many companies out there, many industries are paying a lot more attention to the customer experience that they're creating and executing with their customers. And the reason behind that is really because of all of us. As consumers, we've become much more refined in the way that we consume, the way that we make decisions to purchase products and services, the way that we research it online. We are more knowledgeable, more informed than we've ever been, and we can also access independent reviews left by other consumers like us that talk about their experiences with the products and services that any company offers. So this is now a huge thing that's going on out there, and we realize that you go through a tremendous amount of work to find new customers and bring them into your organizations. From the moment that you find them, recruit, you train and educate them on the products, you close that first sale, you follow up on that sale, and then you move forward to hopefully getting a repeat purchase out of them and establishing them as long-term customers of the New Skin products. We know that requires a tremendous amount of work. So from a customer experience perspective, we want to partner with you in creating the type of experience that will keep them coming back time and time again, that will help them feel that we have created a connection with them. We share meaningful communications with them. They love the products, they love the experience at every touch point. So it's important to us. We're going to be developing this over the coming months and years, continuing to refine it to create a world-class customer experience for your customers, as well as for you and your business builders. Is that something we can get excited about? Yes. Okay, good. So, as a part of customer experience, we're looking at loyalty programs. Like all of you, I traveled to be here live today, this week, and I took advantage of loyalty programs that I'm a member of, mainly in the travel industry, with my airline, with my hotel. Some of you also may be airline, hotel, rental cars, credit cards, they're ubiquitous. Loyalty programs are everywhere. And so we spent the last several months actually studying the best of class in terms of loyalty programs across industries. So we looked at the credit card industry, the travel industry, the beauty industry. Many industries, we've tried to identify the best practices that loyalty programs offer. So as you think about the loyalty programs that you're currently a member of, what do you like most about them? I would guess that some of those components would include miles or points. Others could be special promotions as a loyal customer. Others could be just a simple recognition from that company that you are a loyal customer and they treat you differently. They've established a connection with you. They communicate with you differently. And so as we've looked at all of these programs across industries, we've realized there are some common factors that the most successful companies have. They're able to somehow connect all of these elements into a loyalty program that leaves the customer feeling connected and excited about their interaction with that company and with that brand. That's our goal in New Skin as well. Specifically, we want to create a world-class loyalty rewards program. So, in doing this, we've done our external research. We also now conducted some internal research. We did a global survey earlier this year and late last year, where we asked you, and we asked your customers, what elements of loyalty are most important to you? The feedback was not surprising. In fact, it was really a lot in line with what we found with our cross-industry research, and that was, first of all, recognition. Recognize that we're a loyal customer. Also, communicate with us, build relationships with us, enhance that customer experience because we're loyal. Secondly, give us access to additional information, additional offers, seasonal promotions. Treat us differently because we are loyal. Next is also rewards. Give us some rewards for our continued loyalty. And then lastly, give us access to product samples. Give us things that will help us understand more about what you have to offer as a company. Expose us to different products. And so as we've looked at that, we've taken the internal research and combined it with our external research, and we are starting to prepare Blue Rewards by Nu Skin. Okay? This will be a new reward program that once you register and enroll in this program, there'll be some benefits that you can experience as a customer, as a loyal customer of Nu Skin products. Some of the main things I'm going to talk about here, these are very high level. As we continue to develop and refine this program, just know that it will be coming in the future. As Chris mentioned with Velocity, we're never going to surprise you with just one program that we throw out one week. This will be a deliberate process that we go through as we work with the markets and as the markets work with the leaders to help you understand what's happening as we roll this out. But a big part of this program will be Blue Points. With every purchase you make, you'll be able to generate points. In terms of redemption options, shipping benefit, you can also potentially apply them to special events that the markets may decide to hold. Again, all with the idea that we can retain these customers longer by connecting with them at a different level. And if we're successful in doing that and creating the right type of customer experience, that they will stay in your organizations longer, remain as active customers longer, which ultimately will benefit you in your organizations in terms of the revenue that you generate and the commissions that we pay. Okay? And then lastly, recognition. Just like any of the other programs that are out there that you may be a participant in, as the spend goes up on an annual basis, the recognition benefits associated with those levels will also increase. So that's it in a nutshell. We're excited about this. We're excited to dive into customer experience. We know that we do things well, and we know that we have many opportunities to also improve so that we can ensure that at every touch point with your customers, with your organizations, that we're exceeding expectations. So with that, my time is up. I want to thank you for your attention. I hope you have a wonderful convention over the next remaining day, and safe travels to your home markets. Thank you for coming out.
The great thing about Nu Skin products is they produce results, and taking pictures and sharing those with your friends and family on social media just makes it appealing to the fact that they know that they work because I'm using them and I'm getting results too.
The people around us all benefited from the products. So we felt it's a great product. So there's nothing wrong for us to share with almost anyone and everyone. And we really believe that everyone deserves a good product.
I do believe that in the future there will be a lot of people who embrace the gig economy, whereby they want to earn a part-time income, they want to have extra income, they want the kind of freedom, flexibility, and quality of life. But when company introduces daily pay and weekly pay, I believe that a lot of distributors will be able to see the money coming in faster, and therefore they can actually see a bigger opportunity down here. If the income initially when I'm just doing part-time, if I can see the income faster, and definitely I will be more motivated to continue the business. So I believe that the company is doing all this to help us to let the new people to see this income, and then in return actually to help us to boost the business as well.
Please welcome Head of Global Business Model Innovation, Danny Look.
Welcome to be here, and I'm happy to be here with all of you to talk about velocity. I've been with the Nu Skin for 20 years, spending the first 19 years in Greater China. Last year moving to Provo, and it's my honor to have a chance to work in this project. How are you, everyone? Good? All right, we have half day to go. Keep the energy. Promise? Yes. All right, so you heard about why we are having the velocity from Chris. You heard about the loyalty programs coming up from Mike. So let's start talking about the first part of this velocity, starting with share. So sharing is all about enhancing income for early business builders who share the product with customers, like all of you. How many of you have shared product with your customers? Show me your hand. All of you, right? So this is so important. And as what Chris mentioned earlier, velocity is about providing the right reward for the right behavior, and most importantly, at the right time. So if I ask you, what is the right time to reward share? Do you want to hear the right time is daily? Yeah. Would it be good that if you share the product with someone, if they buy it, and then you can get a reward tomorrow? How would that be? Do you like it? Yes. So the right time of the sharing is daily. So what do we mean by sharing? When we talk about sharing, that includes two things. First of all, introducing the products to the others. Simple enough, right? Second, acquiring customers to purchase those products. So, and also sharing is comprising of two different ways to earn. One, retailing products and fulfilling orders on your own personal customers. And second, share the products with the customers and the business builders who purchase products from the company directly. You all do that. You are all doing that. So let's talk about the first one of the retailing product. Retailing has always been a part of our global compensation plan, and it's a key way to earn the early income. And it is also the best way to earn immediate income for sharing products. So when we look at today's social selling environment, you are all social selling and I'm part of that. This has become a norm today. Retailing is more critical than ever. And when we look at the market who embrace retailing together with social selling, we have seen almost more than double increase in terms of the customer acquiring year over year. So it is perfect time to combine, to embrace social selling together with retailing. Do you agree? So after retailing, what's next? It is so important to create a network, right? So the second activity of sharing is all about building a network of registered customers and prospective business builders. And our research showed that on our own Nu Skin distributor for many years shows that those who are building a business, the vast majority are doing a business on a part-time basis. I believe a lot of you here in this room, when you start the Nu Skin business, you're starting in a part-time, right? So, and that's why when we say we want to make Nu Skin opportunity more accessible and also more appealing to the broadest possible audience, a compelling, flexible part-time income potential is vital. So our goal here today is to help every new sharer be more productive by providing the right reward at the right time. So, I believe all of you have purchased LumiSpa, right? A lot of you have purchased, most of you have purchased Nu Skin Life products, right? So I'm happy we're pleased to announce that the sharing bonus is already available on the LumiSpa and the other Nu Skin Life products. How would that be? Would it be good? Like it? And the sharing bonus will be paid to the sharer. And in addition, the sharing bonus will be included on selected products going forward as determined in each of your own market. So, as a summary, our goal is to provide a meaningful and timely reward for sharing in two ways. One, retail profits for the sales to personal customers, and second, a sharing bonus for the sales to registered customers and business builders, and therefore to enhance the earning opportunity. The sharing bonus is additional money. The sharing bonus is additional money outside of the retail markup and also outside of the leadership bonuses. Again, it is designed to reward early business building. Remember, one more time, the best part of the sharing bonus is that it is earned and calculated on a daily basis. Alright? So this is a good demonstration of fast speed. Do you like it?
Yes.
Right. So sharing is about introducing products, referring customers based on the sales of those products, and receiving a meaningful upfront reward for doing so through the retail markup and through receiving a sharing bonus. Sharing is a perfect illustration of Velocity's flexible, fast, and future benefits. And it is so important that sharing is vital to becoming the world's leading opportunity platform by providing both leadership and supplemental money for the gig economy. Alright, so let's enjoy the rest of the day and the rest of the convention, and then let's do the share continuously. Alright? See you. Thank you.
With Nu Skin's new compensation plan about their weekly payouts really will benefit a lot of younger people nowadays, because we're young and we don't have a lot of budget, and so when we come and start doing the Nu Skin business, it allows them to have the money straight away on a weekly basis, for them to see the money as they go along the way, and give them the confidence, give them the reward rather, to let them push further in the business and be more committed in the business as compared to a monthly basis. And waiting for a month, some of them may not sustain throughout, but some of them come from really, impoverished backgrounds, and they have time and effort, but they don't have enough money to go to their daily basis. Even traveling to the office is something that is tedious for them, financially not possible for them, but with their weekly and daily basis allows them to grow their business and be more committed in their business.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome General Manager of Nu Skin United States, Matt Hall.
여러분 안녕하십니까? 한국 분들 어디 있어요? Alright, I knew our Korean team would wake everybody up. It's good to be with you guys. Where's everyone else from?
China!
Awesome. Well, no matter where you're from, we're glad you're here. I have the opportunity to talk to you today about Build. Build is about rewarding you for earlier, more frequent performance. Now, as we just learned from Chris and Danny, Velocity is about providing the right reward for the right behavior at the right time. When you share products, we just learned that rewarding you for that performance is, we should reward you daily. But when you build a group of customers and business builders, the right time to reward that performance is weekly. Now, all of you watch your teams very closely, I know that. And if I were to ask you, when do you seem to achieve most of your sales volume during the month? How would you answer that question? Right? And some of you would answer the latter part of the month, right? Yeah. Now, what if we could create the right incentive to motivate your team's performance so that every single week of the month, they're rewarded? Imagine that for a moment. If your team was more motivated, more incentivized to build a group of customers and new potential business builders every week of the month. So we know the feeling, the excitement, right? At month end. Now imagine that level of excitement every single week, 4 times a month. Now, when we consider the current sales compensation plan for new business builders, sometimes achieving 2,000, maybe even 3,000 in group sales volume can seem like climbing a mountain all at once. But however, if we can break down climbing that mountain into smaller milestones, the final destination becomes much more achievable. Blocks are a way of achieving that, okay? A block is a new term that represents 500 points of sales volume. By accumulating blocks each week, we can break down the mountain climb into simple milestones that are rewarded as each block is completed, okay? Blocks can also be used for executive status and for bonuses. Qualification to become an executive is another part of the business model which flexible features are demonstrated. You have the flexibility to move at your very own pace. We will advance your title weekly and we will pay you weekly. All right, think about that. I'm going to repeat it. You can advance weekly and you can get paid weekly. This also means that your new team members who are promoted to executive can be promoted at any week during the month, and they can start taking advantage of the build bonus right away. That's right. This build bonus is designed to motivate and reward for more frequent and earlier blocks of sales performance. What if everyone on your team who desired to build a business and was motivated to work every week and perhaps was motivated to achieve perhaps 500 more in sales volume, 1,000 more in sales volume, maybe 2,000 more in sales volume? How would that completely change the dynamic of your team? How would that completely change your team's performance? You know, how more successful would they feel? How much more do you think they could actually achieve in their business? Now, for each block, for each additional block, you would receive an increased bonus percentage amount, up to 40%. Yeah. The important thing to remember here is that you would receive increased pay on increased blocks of sales. The potential of this building bonus really is very dramatic. When you double your sales volume from 1 block per week to 2 blocks per week, your sales commissions increase by 4 times. This is what we like to call 2x equals 4x. Double your performance and earn 4 times the commissions. So an example, if you were to double your sales blocks from 1 block per week to 2 blocks per week, for a total of 8 blocks in 1 month, you receive 4 times the commissions. It's that powerful. Let me summarize. Build is about offering greater incentive to acquire new customers and develop new business builders by maximizing your performance every single week of the month. This means rewarding you for performance earlier in the month, more consistently in the month, and rewards are paid to you faster by paying you weekly. Ultimately, it's rewarding you for more productive, consistent performance. All right? Build is just another great example of Velocity's flexible, fast, and future benefits. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much. See you, everybody.
My job, business is always trying to share the dreams and help people transform. In our business, after so many years, we know our duty is not just to, of course, number one, we have to enrich ourselves, to take care of ourselves first. Secondly, what we need to do is to empower others. I believe this opportunity fits everyone. That is my view. There's more than just making money. It's about freedom.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to stage Vice President of Global Sales Channel Development, Avita Singson.
Are you having fun? Has it been a great convention or has it been a great convention? Right? Okay, my name is Evita. I've been with New Skin for 20 years. Yes, and I'm here to talk about LEAD. And New Skin is a leadership-driven company. And leading is all about rewarding productive leadership. Don't you agree? Yes. As Chris, Danny, Matt mentioned today, and they've shared a lot of information for you to really digest, velocity is about providing the right reward for the right behavior at the right time. So you are motivated daily for sharing the products with your customers, and then on a weekly basis, you are rewarded for building a group of customers and potential business builders, right? Finally, lead. Lead is really rewarding you monthly for building a group of builders or leading a group of builders. So the Velocity by New Skin is really all about daily, weekly, and monthly. That's all about share, build, and lead. When we research long-term successful leaders, we typically see three shifts throughout their development as leaders. First, they build themselves to be strong and sustainable leaders, or you become strong leaders. Second, they develop others in their teams to be strong and sustainable leaders, or starting to duplicate strong leaders in your organization. Finally, you help others develop sustainable and strong leaders, or multiplying strong leaders, right? It's a proven model, and everybody is familiar with the principles of become, duplicate, and multiply strong leaders. It's embedded in your DNA as New Skin sales leaders, right? Right. So, while title is important, and to describe leadership in New Skin, equally important is really the team behind the title. I think all of you in this room will agree that true leadership is about helping lift others and become successful leaders themselves. Then you in turn allow for your own leadership advancement. You help others become successful first, and then you become successful yourself. That's the principle of leadership in New Skin. With this in mind, we have developed an alternative way for leadership rewards through Velocity by New Skin. Are you ready to hear it? Yeah. Let's do it. The new leading bonus alternative provides all of the same benefits of the 5% paid through 6th generation of executive sales volumes, very similar to our current Wealth Maximizer, but does so in a new and powerful way. It is based on the principle of lifting others and helping to develop the quality and long-term sustainability and progression of those within your organizations. In the Velocity by New Skin, the plan becomes more powerful by rewarding sales leaders for developing leadership teams. A leadership team, therefore, is defined as a leader in your organization that contributes at least 30,000 points of sales volume to your overall sales organizational volume. Okay, so let me repeat that. A leadership team is defined as somebody in your organization that contributes at least 30,000 sales volume to your overall sales organizational volume. So in the leading bonus, you become an executive. A gold needs at least 1 G1 qualified sales leader. A lapis needs 2 qualified G1 sales leader. A ruby needs 4 G1 qualified sales leader. And as you build on the principles of duplicate and multiply, now an emerald needs 4 qualified G1 sales leader, and one of those is a leadership team. A diamond can qualify with 5 qualified G1 sales leader, and 2 of those are leadership teams. A Blue Diamond will need 6 qualified G1 sales leader, 6 instead of 12. Qualified G1 sales leaders, and 3 of those are leadership teams. And finally, a team elite needs 6 G1 qualified sales leader, and 4 of those are leadership teams.
Yes!
What do you think?
Yes!
You like that?
Yes!
It's really all about velocity by Nu Skin, and it's built on the principle of duplicating and multiplying strong leaders in your organization. So, the best part is the leading bonus alternative will be available as early as next year.
Whoa!
So, in the spirit of flexibility, sales leaders will have the choice of opting into the new leadership bonus or leadership bonus qualification path, which will run side by side with our current breakaway bonus qualification under the Wealth Maximizer plan. So you have the opportunity to opt in if you want to, or if you want to stay in the breakaway bonus, you can do so as well. You like that? So the sharing bonus and the building bonus part will roll out according to your market's timeline, and that may be separate from the leading bonus, which we want to roll out right away. We want to make leading bonus available to you as soon as possible. But full details of those of the rollout in your markets will be available, and you can talk to your markets about that. Okay? Sounds good? Okay, finally, as we round out Velocity by Nu Skin, we will also be introducing enhanced titles that celebrate the heritage of Nu Skin, but strengthening the fresh and vibrancy of the Velocity plan. So in the refreshed titles, preferred customers will now be referred to as Nu Skin members. From distributor onwards, we will have 4 groups. Distributors will be referred to as brand affiliates. Executives will be referred to as brand representatives. Early business builders will be called brand partners. And leaders will be referred to as brand directors. So you have seen them being teased here and there during the recognition night. We will keep these titles celebrating our heritage while freshening and really keeping the titles vibrant. Sounds good? Well, it has been a pleasure talking to you this morning. In summary, that's Velocity by Nu Skin. Share, build, and lead. These are the key elements of velocity and fast speed. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of Nu Skin Live. Thank you.
We know you love Nu Skin's products.
But now it's time to talk about getting paid for your passion. Our Velocity Pay Plan helps you build your business your way.
Velocity is all about speed and direction. It's about giving you the flexibility to build your new gig at the speed you want and to steer your life in the direction you want to reach your goals.
That's why we've created a versatile plan that rewards you at all levels as you build your Nu Skin business.
With Velocity, you can earn rewards and cash today by doing something you already enjoy, sharing products you love with the people you love.
As you share your favorite products with others, you'll earn sharing bonuses daily in addition to your retail profits, all while selling how much you want, when you want.
As your friends fall in love with our amazing products, many will want to share them with others too. When this happens, you can start building a group of customers and product enthusiasts, which means stepping up your Nu Skin game and taking on new responsibilities as a sales leader. With these added responsibilities, you can earn an additional 5%, all the way up to 40% on your group's product sales through weekly building bonuses.
Want to take your business to the next level? The flexibility of Velocity allows you to begin meeting teams of people just like you. As you continue to grow your customer base and mentor other sales leaders, you'll receive a monthly leading bonus for your team's hard work in addition to your sharing bonuses and building bonuses. This is where your business can really take off.
With our flexible velocity plan, you can design your own journey and build at your own pace. Thanks for watching and for being a part of Nu Skin, the world's leading business opportunity platform.